Hey guys, this is Kathy. Today I want to share with you the real reason that you might not be at your goals. And what I'm going to share with you today is most likely what you don't consider when you're trying to achieve something, a specific goal. We'll call it weight loss, but it could be anything in your life. Before we get started, don't forget, click like, hit subscribe so you don't miss another valuable video from us. So where do results come from? A lot of times we assume that if we want to achieve a goal, we just have to work harder. So many people have asked me over the many years that I've been a fitness trainer and coach, how do I get motivated? How do I stay motivated? How do I find the willpower that I need to get the results? And that's a really tricky slope because willpower is like any other feeling. It comes and goes. Motivation is like any other feeling. It comes and goes. We're not always happy every single day, every moment of the day. We're not always sad every single moment of every single day. We have many emotions that go up and down based on what we're experiencing, what's going on in our life, our moods, our hormones. So many different aspects affect how we're feeling. So how can we focus on just having the willpower motivation 100% of the time? It's impossible. So when we're hoping that that is going to come and give us the results, number one, that's going to continue to let us down every single time. So today I want to share with you, how do you move forward? How do you then reach the results that you're looking for? Like, what is that secret, that magical spell to get me to my goals? So the first thing I'm going to have you consider is what have you done in order to achieve a goal? I'm going to use weight loss as an example, but you can use any issue, situation that you're looking to better and improve in your life. So say if you're looking to lose weight and you've tried every diet program, you've been exercising, you keep stopping and starting because you can't follow it perfectly, and then you feel frustrated and you start to judge yourself and you just feel like it's so hard. And so you can't continue it because it's so hard. You're usually hungry, or you have to cut out your favorite foods, and then you have to do all this exercise. It just doesn't feel good. So it doesn't feel good. You don't feel happy, and then you stop. And this is the problem. This is the first problem. So I want you to look at your goals. How are you working to achieve that goal? What is it you're doing? Do you enjoy what you're doing? Is there any element of enjoyment? I know when I started my fitness journey, I hated exercise. I thought it was the worst thing ever. And the only thing that I knew to do was cardio. So I'd go to the gym and I would just spend countless hours, boring, I might add, on the treadmill and the stair climber and the elliptical machine and the bike. And then I would go take a group exercise class because at least that was fun in the moment. But those were hard to find, the ones that I loved. No matter what, it was always this push, and I always felt so exhausted because it was boring. I wasn't seeing any progress. I'd get a little success on the scale every now and then, but I'd fall back. I'd overeat, I'd binge eat because the food program was too hard to follow. So all in all, it just was too hard. It wasn't sustainable, and it wasn't giving me the right results. So where are you at right now? What are you trying to do, and how are you trying to do it? If it feels really uncomfortable, if it feels so hard, and you're just like, if I just stick with it for 7 days this week, then I'm going to give myself, a reward at the end of the week. But if it feels terrible, I'm going to guarantee you're not going to stick with it. You already know that. You've already done things over and over trying to achieve a different outcome. And isn't that what they say insanity is based around? Just saying, it really is. And it's a loop we get stuck in because we're told this is how you do it. You want results, so you go and you just do your best. So obviously you have goals, and we all should. As humans, we should all have goals, and we should all want better. We want progress, but we're trying for perfection, and that's where we fall short. So I'm going to give you a few strategies for you to implement right now. And don't just listen to this and think, oh, that sounds so wonderful, Kathy. I totally understand, and that makes me feel better, and then forget about it by tomorrow. I want you to write this down and take action. Immediate action is really where the results happen. And I know you've heard a lot of good information before. Chances are you've forgot a lot of good information. I know I have over the years. So the best way to get results is to take action. So write this down. The first step I want you to do is write down, what is your goal? What does that look like? And be specific. If it's, I want to lose weight, don't just write down, I want to lose weight. I want to lose 20 pounds, right? Be specific, because if you just lose a pound, then you've technically lost weight. I want to earn more money. Well, if you earn one more dollar, you've technically earned more money, right? So be specific. I want to earn $5,000 more in the next 2 months, or whatever that is for you. Write down your goal and be specific. Now I want you to look at the goal and what do you feel about the goal? Like, just consider, how does that emotion in your body, what's happening? Do you feel nervous? Are you excited? Are you afraid? Do you start to judge yourself? Do you doubt yourself? Like, what are the feelings that are coming up? And this is really important because those feelings that come up are going to start to pull through your subconscious brain, and they will either move you towards the goal where you can continue to go, or AKA motivation and willpower, or you'll start to move away from it because it just feels uncomfortable. Our brain and our brain actually works to help keep us happy and work on what we truly want. So if we're telling ourselves we want to lose 20 pounds, but then we look at that goal and we think, oh gosh, I've tried this so many times and I keep failing. It's so hard to lose 20 pounds and then keep it off. And I can't remember all the other programs that I've done and what is going to finally work for me. If you're looking at it in that perspective, it's not going to work. Trust me. When we're looking at it in a negative perspective or a negative light, it feels impossible. So I want you to think about what makes you feel good about it and be creative. Like, how can I get excited about losing 20 pounds? Maybe it's how I'm gonna feel when I look at myself in the mirror, or when I try on the clothing size that I wanna wear, 2 clothing sizes lower, or when I walk into that event that I'm going to in a few months, and I walk in and I imagine everybody looking at me and saying, gosh, you look so good. What are you doing? You know, be specific about how it's gonna feel good. And then you'll be able to sprinkle it into your day. Don't try to be perfect. Don't try to go at it 100% and then stop. Take it forward, start something. So again, you might want to start eating more fresh fruits and vegetables. And then once that gets easier, then you add another element, add a walk every other day for 30 to 45 minutes. These are simple steps. And if you stumble, you know what that's called? That's called being human. So then you look at, okay, what didn't work? Now I'm going to share a little story with you. For me, I'm following our Sugar and Strength program right now. I follow everything I work with in our Superstar Elite program. So the funny thing, because I know better, but yet I'm still always on this journey too. So I share this always with my clients. And what happened the other day was that I have been working really hard on my workouts, the strength gains, right? And so when we're building muscle, working against resistance and the strength, our body's working hard to repair and regrow the muscle. So what happens is you work really hard in the workout and you need to rest and eat enough. Well, obviously, sometimes that food issue can be a struggle for especially a lot of women that have been dieting all these years. But I know better, and I know, okay, you need to eat enough, you need to eat the quality food so that your body can work to repair and recover. It needs the fuel. So long story short, I was super busy one day this week and I didn't get enough of the foods in. Now, mind you, I've eaten. It's not that I'm not eating, but I went a few hours of not eating because we got busy and we were working on getting a project completed. And so I pushed off eating until later that day, or later in the afternoon. Now what happens was I ate later in the afternoon and I continued on throughout the day, but it was in the evening that it caught up with me. I was sitting on the couch, my son and I were watching TV, and all of a sudden I remembered that we had this chocolate cake in the refrigerator, which doesn't really bother me anymore. I don't get cravings. I usually eat things that I enjoy when I choose to, but this time it was like that nagging feeling, you know, that like thought in your brain, like, I want that cake. I want that cake. And I'm thinking, okay, I can have something better. I'm working hard on my goals. I can have something better. But that nagging voice was in my head loud. And I realized I don't have this issue anymore. So then I had to retrace, why is this happening? And I went and I had the cake because it was calling to me so loudly in my head. And I always tell my clients, if something is that specific and it's calling you, go have it with dignity and a fork or a spoon in front of other people so that you don't end up eating everything else in the house along with that thing later on because you're trying to be strong and not have it. So I went and I had a piece of it and I was happy, but I also realized why that happened. I actually retraced my steps and I says, you know what? I skipped too many hours in the afternoon of eating. And so now I could go and plan my day tomorrow better. And so that's what I'm going to recommend for you. Don't worry about being perfect. You will not be perfect. You are a human being. You're an awesome human being too. You're listening to this video too to better your life, your quality of results. So look at the areas that you stumble and consider this one more story, or not a story, but just a little example. How, and I know Tony Robbins shows this, how many times would you give a young child to try to walk before you cut them off? So your young child or a young child that you know is trying to walk, they're climbing up on furniture and they're trying to take steps, but they keep falling on their bottom. How long would you give them before you cut them off? And you just say, you kind of stink at this walking thing, you should stop. Obviously, that's a ridiculous question because none of us would stop the child. We would allow them to continue until what? Until they walked, right? And then they run and then they get better. And that is what we have to dive into now too. When you are striving for something new, something you've never had or you've never had long term, it's new. It's like you're learning how to walk again for the first time ever. And you have to be okay with falling down, picking yourself up and being better. But again, it has to be something that you truly believe in, that you want, that's specific. You want to lose a certain amount of weight and you're going to take these steps, and every time you fall, you're going to figure out what went wrong, you're going to retrace the steps, and you're going to just get better. I guarantee this is such it's simple, yet it's so profound because nobody does it. Everybody goes, I know, but that doesn't work. I'm just going to do my best and then I'll do that later. Do it now. Take this and use it. And the last step I want to ask you is I want you to also get real on why is it that you have any negative feelings around this goal? And there are negative feelings that come up. We have fears because maybe we failed in the past. Maybe there's voices in our head from the past that creep up when we feel like, gosh, I'm trying to do something a little uncomfortable or something that I've never done before. And maybe we have some childhood memories of failures, of seeing people fail, of hearing our own failures and the judgments that we've had, judging other people, whatever it is. Dive into those fears and thoughts. It's like an onion. You got to peel the layers. Once you find the root cause, that negative subconscious voice in your head, then you can start to heal it. Get up and walk, retrace your steps. When you fail, all you have to do is get back up. So, for example, losing weight. How do you do it? What's the secret, Kathy? The secret is simply this. It's writing down your goal, being specific, and then writing out a plan. Every day, a plan, a specific plan. These are the foods I'm going to eat. This is what I'm going to practice. Getting your rest, making sure that you're sleeping, you're drinking water, and you're eating whole foods. This is what your body is meant to do. It's not any secret. This is not my system. This is just what your body's meant to do. And then when you work against resistance and workouts, I would say walk and maybe do stretching or yoga to help you feel better. And then work with resistance to help you build up muscle so that you can have a better metabolism, feel stronger, and as you age, be able to handle the stages of aging, right? Gracefully and stronger than ever. And the same thing applies if you're trying to increase your income, better your relationships, whatever your goal is in your life right now. All you have to do is be specific. Write that down. Write down the voices that come up, those feelings that are negative, because you need to enjoy the journey. If you don't enjoy the journey, you're going to run from it. And I've done this so many times that I can definitely relate with this. So when you feel the resistance, figure out what is the resistance? Where is that coming from? Is it real? Or is it just something from my past, a voice in my past that I need to just get clear on and figure out how to move through it in a happy way? And that's it. There's nothing more than this. It sounds ridiculous, I know, but it is truly the way to move forward. And listen, you are not the same person you were when you started whatever goal you're working on. Even yesterday, you've come through a different day. You've come through different challenges. So give yourself some credit, knowing that you do have some experience, you do have some knowledge, and you can only continue to learn if you continue to walk forward and take those steps. Don't be the child who gives up walking and just decides to crawl for the rest of your life because, hey, I'm good at that. Take that next step. Continue to challenge yourself to the next step. Enjoy the journey. That's what life is about. It's progress, not perfection. And I hope this video gave you some value today. If so, comment below. Let us know. Again, don't forget to hit like. Ask any questions or give us any comments that would help you in the future so we can create some new valuable videos for you. And until the next time, have a wonderful rest of your day or night. And I look forward to giving you more value in the next video.